All right, so we finished all the Satipatthana. Now, how are we going to practice? That's important. Because theory is theory. If we don't apply, it's just forever theory. Now, there are some suggestions here. I also asked you to do your homework. I expect to see more of how you apply the theory in your own practice. For body, including breathing, posture, clear comprehension of action, 32 body parts, 4 great elements, and corpse contemplation. But actually, this is more on the Asubha, like we see the corpse of other people. But what we do is you be able to note your breathing, your posture, your activities, your 32 body parts, when you go to toilet, and your 4 great elements. Now, feeling is actually quite easy. Every kind of feeling, whether good feeling, bad feeling, neutral feeling, spiritual feeling, or worldly feeling, we also need to know. Now, also mind, we need to know whether good mind, bad mind, greedy mind, hatred mind, concentrated mind, liberated mind, any thoughts, emotion, you should know. Now, Dhammanupassana is much more difficult because it's much more subtle in nature compared to the rest, but it's including hindrances, aggregates, and it's actually much more easy. Every time where things come in your sense, or when you see something, you hear something, you need to be mindful. So that's what constitute as the six sense spaces and six sense object and factors enlightenment. Now, when we start to practice meditation, we should increase as much of factors enlightenment as possible and reduce the hindrances as much as possible. Because sometimes you might make progress. After some while, maybe you're busy with your life or you have important things not finished and something disturb the mind, then the hindrances definitely come. It's not that you stop the hindrances, it will not appear again. It will appear later. So we have to strive on, right? So you have to reduce your hindrances and increase your factors enlightenment. Not that your hindrances will never appear. They will appear unless you achieve enlightenment. Then at that time some hindrances will stop. Not all. Until Arahantship. Arahantship is the last where all the hindrances, defilements will stop. So, and we need to understand Four Noble Truths as much as we can. Because when we listen to Four Noble Truths, it seems to be very easy, or life is suffering and so on. But even though you hear many times life is suffering, you still have to listen to it many times until you really grasp the essence. Okay. Now, it's not here, but I can write. Okay. Now, there are 3 kinds of suffering. Because I listened, I was talking to somebody. We had one called dukkha. Vipari na Viparinama dukkha. Another one I call it sankhara. Dukkha is, we call it obvious dukkha in a way. It's like you have a toothache, you have body pain, okay, you have aging, right? You have sickness. This one is very obvious. This one you can see. When people have this, you can see. When you have this, you also can see. So it is, we call it very obvious or very real suffering that really actually you can see this. Now another one we call it change, suffering due to change. Now what kind of suffering? For example, you have a pleasant feeling or pleasant feeling, it disappear. So it means that it change, or pleasant feeling change to unpleasant feeling. Now, this is not so obvious, but even though you have pleasant feeling or you have good news, you will not have forever good news. The next moment there will be bad news. So things are changing, right? So we cannot cling to any good feeling forever. It will change, definitely. So so if we want to analyze, we can say the first one is considered as unpleasant feeling. All right, so this is considered pleasant feeling. Now, there's another one we call it suffering information. As long as you have this mind and body, you have some suffering. Why? Because these are subject to condition. Means that if you want to have good mind and body, you must create a condition. Without condition, you cannot get good mind and body. So this is called formation. Formation in the sense of innate maintenance, right? For example, your body. You need to maintain the body. That's why you say when I around 50 age and I talk to the moment you talk to anybody around 50 or 60, they will tell you the same thing. They need to visit hospital, need to fix the body. Why? Because our mind and body need maintenance. So this is a suffering by itself. Yes, if you have money, no problem. But what if you have no money? You know? So you need to maintain. What do you maintain? Besides maintain the body, you also need to continue to create that condition, right? So for example, if you want to have good food, you must continue to create the condition of having money. Without money, how can you buy good food, right? So all these are not obvious because we call it suffering information or suffering due to formation. This is actually not easy to see. Only those with very high wisdom can see this sankhara. Easier one will be see, right? Dukkha, dukkha. Everybody can see. This is very easy. Viparinama is also not, it's also you can see when you practice meditation, you notice you have good feeling, you change to bad feeling. You have good news, change it to bad news. So it's a changes by itself. Okay, any question about this? If not, I continue, right? Okay. Yes, Pranali. You haven't do your homework yet, right? Pranali?
Yes, Ayaji, it's due. I'll do that. I'll do it.
Yes.
Ayaji, I
Yes.
have a question about Viparinama. I mean, can you explain it with the example?
With an example. Oh, example
Hmm.
is the pleasant feeling. This one I explained already. Okay, you want an example? For example, okay, maybe you listen, okay, listen to good sound, right? So this sound will disappear. Any sound appear in your mind, it will disappear. So this pleasant feeling will disappear. So it's also considered a change because you cannot hold on to it anymore. Okay. Or
Okay.
you can say disappear, or you can say that after that maybe a bad sound will come.
Hmm.
All right. This is the example here.
Okay.
So for example, this one you is like uh go to hospital, right? Go to check up. You need to monitor your blood pressure. So we need have lots of equipment to maintain our mind and body. So even like you want to have a good mind, yeah. So good mind is due to good object. But this object is also impermanent. The object will come and disappear. So to maintain your happiness, you must have good news. So you must have happy object. So that's why Sankara Dukkha is talking about cause and condition. To
Hmm.
create happiness, you need external object. Without external object, you cannot be happy. So that's why to be more wise, we should rely on happiness, inner happiness. But it's not that easy to have inner happiness if you are do not have strong willpower. To have strong willpower means that you understand I don't want to rely on others. I prefer to rely on myself. This is called internal happiness. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ayaji.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now we go back to some we covered last week, which I covered quite fast. Now, how we going to practice? Now we already know the theory that is a Satipatthana, the body, mind, body, feeling, mind, and the Dhamma. Now, what you can do is always start with the body. Okay. Then you go to more subtle one, feeling. Then you go to mind. Then go to the Dhamma, mental object. A lot of people just want to note the mind. They want to see, oh, what is my mind doing? Is my mind having awareness? They want to let go the mind. But you need to let go the body first. After you're very good with the body, then you know all the feelings, whether good or bad, all these are impermanent. Okay, so that's how we progress from the Kaya, Vedana, Chitta, and Dhamma. Now, objects, always start with the easy one. Let's say you want to do the walking meditation, so you note left, right, left, right, left, right. You note the hard, 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 hard. Then you gradually go feel the soft, right? Uh, rough and smooth. Okay, smooth. Then another one is heavy and light. So always look for those obvious. Why? Because obvious things is very good object, very clear object. The more it become obvious, your mind can grasp it easily. So it's easier to meditate rather than those very soft one. And you can after that start with the familiar one. Let's say you are good in breathing. So you start do with the breathing. Then after that, you notice the pain. You go to pain or stiffness. Or you note the breathing. It's a very familiar object. Then after that, the sound come. You move to the sound. You move to the pain or whatever. So you start with something you already quite accomplished, quite good, right? And like mentioned just now, you must reduce your hindrances because if your hindrances is there, it block. Now, why do we call it hindrance? Because it block the progress of meditation. That's why we call it hindrances. And you need to increase the factors of enlightenment. All right. So this how hindrances is considered very gross. Factors of enlightenment considered more subtle. Now, sometimes you need to notice the uh, sometimes it's good to just zoom into one object. So you zoom into your breathing on the nostril or the abdomen rising, falling. So you not make it single pointedness means that your mind fully concentrate on it. So when you become very skillful with the one pointed object, with one only object, then you open up. Open up means your mind aware of the whole body, aware of the sound coming in, aware of the six sense basis, six sense object. So it's very open, called open awareness. All right. Another one is yes, it's good to practice structure practice, means that wherever you sit, walk, you just do to sitting, walking, sitting, walking, sitting, walking. So after that, when you're good in that, then you go to garden. It's not easy to practice meditation in the garden because meditation in the garden you can see a lot of people coming, you can see the trees, you can see the flowers, your mind will get distracted. So you practice in a small room first or in a corner of your house, just sit walk. So we call it structured practice. So when you are become more good in mindfulness, then you go to wherever you want to go. We call it natural awareness, either in a park, in a garden, or whatever you want to do. Like you open the tap water, shower, or cleaning this, cleaning that, and so on. Now, momentary. Momentary means you only can practice moment to moment. One when you do the breathing, then to walking, to sitting. So any moment you practice the concentration. So they call momentary. But if you can practice sustained attention, means that is better, Besides momentary, make sure your attention is very sustained. Follow means moment to moment and continue the attention without a break in between. Okay. Now, any question? I continue. All right. Now, we always start with the body because body is in Mahasi method is body first. We start either on the breathing or on the, if you want, you can put abdomen also, okay? Because these are very obvious, especially if you put your hand on the abdomen. You put the hand at the abdomen, you close the eyes. Besides feeling the abdomen rising, falling, you can feel the contact of your abdomen to your hand. So it's very accessible anchor. So anchor means we tie the mind to the object. So the mind, even though it runs, it still can come back later. Okay. Then after that, you practice in four posture. No matter how you sit, how you walk, how you stand, how you lie. Yeah, it's there. And then also you're aware of all the gesture when you're eating something, moving something, your hand and so on. Okay. Then also notice the four great elements, hardness, softness, and so on. And then the 32 body parts. Now, 32 body parts is for us to aware that we are not as beautiful as we think, you know, because every day we have to take shower. Every day we have to, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you need to do is brush your teeth or wash your face, because if not, you feel very unclean. Because overnight your bodies produce a lot of impurity. So also if you after a while you need to cut the nail, skin and go to toilet, urine and so on. That's the nature of the body. But the problem is if we never meditate, we always have the idea is that our body is so beautiful. That's our own idea. Okay. And then the feeling become from the obvious pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, progress to neutral feeling, worthy feeling, and any feeling. Okay. And then mind. Now, feeling is actually much more, feeling actually not so bad compared to the body. It's actually very gross also. When you have pleasant feeling, you want to do something. When you have neutral feeling, maybe your mind is lazy. If you have painful feeling, definitely you just want to run away. You sit down, you feel your body have painful feeling. You just want to move on your sitting, or your leg, you maybe stuck. Maybe you have a bones or some sharp things on the feet. So your feet will automatically want to move from it. So feeling actually is quite obvious. That's why in five aggregates, feeling is considered a category by itself. Now, okay, now mind. Now you start with obvious, very mental one, whether you anger, hatred, all this mind, very obvious. And after that, you continue to very subtle one, like laziness. Laziness is very, in a way, it's subtle because sometimes it is lazy mind, but you interpret it as like you will say, oh, I'm not happy today, or I don't want to do this, or that one it's against my wish, but actually it's a lazy mind. Your mind refuse to do it, so it gives various excuse. So also when delusion come, your mind don't like it at all. Totally your mind is a delusion means it cover up with truth. When even everything is anicca dukkha anatta, impermanent, suffering, non-self, your mind will not able to see it because of delusion. Okay, now, so mental object is a lot, five hindrances. Yes, we have to reduce as much as possible, and then contemplate the mind body. Then subsequently you contemplate as five aggregates or six sense base and objects. So you should increase the factors of enlightenment as much as possible, and also realize the Four Noble Truth. Understand about the First Noble Truth is suffering. Now, if we don't understand the First Noble Truth, we will not be serious in meditation, because to you, life is so comfortable. If life is comfortable, there's no reason why you should meditate. Okay, now important point in Vipassana. A lot of things is actually that's why if you go to many meditation center, or a lot of teachers tell you the mindfulness is the key point. Because if you don't have the mindfulness, you will lose your concentration. If you don't have mindfulness, the hindrances will disturb you. If you don't have mindfulness, you cannot develop the factors of enlightenment. Okay, so mindfulness is a key word. Now your effort and relaxation should be balanced. Like too much effort, your mind is very restless. Too much relaxation, you are not doing enough. For example, when you sit down, okay, so make sure you sit down, you have some effort. If you slump against the chair, you definitely after a while you will sleep. Why? Because it's so comfortable, totally no effort at all. So that's why sometimes they ask you to sit on the floor, because sit on the floor you need to have some effort there. And another one, don't control experiences. Means that like you are doing the breathing meditation, make sure you don't control the breathing, because the more you disturb the breathing, actually you will not feel comfortable. Yes, sometimes if your mind is very restless, it's good to take a deep breath, like breathing in, breathing out. So it will calm your mind. When you take a deep breath, your mind will kind of slow down. But after a while, you just see how the breath coming in, how it come out, how it come in, going out, or abdomen rising, falling. So simply observe what nature arises. So when you see again, everything just appear, the sound, the breathing, the pain. Then what you really see that is this is anatta, non-self, Non-self means whatever you want, no, it happens by itself according to cause and condition. It's not what you want. And stay balanced and economous, all right? Don't expect any expectation, right? For example, you hear people say, oh, I want to see the light. So the moment you sit down, you say, oh, I also want to see the light. That will create disappointment. Or you hear people, oh, I see here, I feel very happy. So you want to have happiness. That's create expectation also. That's wrong. Because even though you don't get happiness in meditation, that's actually better because you really see the suffering aspect of the body. Okay, and finally let go the I, especially this concept I, okay? Like then dislike. All right, now this is important, right? So in five faculties, wisdom and faith should be equal, right? Because if you have too much faith, you lack of knowledge. So you're over trusting. Okay. But if your knowledge or wisdom, but here we don't call it wisdom, if your knowledge is too much, you use your knowledge to harm people. So cunning will occur. Okay. When effort is more concentration, means your mind is restless. But when your mind has too much concentration, so we call it sloth torpor, sleepiness or laziness will occur. So this will you will notice yourself because when you don't have faith in the teacher, so and you think that you're clever than teacher, for example, let's say if you think that you're clever than teacher, your faith is not there. Even you criticize on the teacher, that's what happened. But if you believe whatever somebody say, that is you might go to the wrong path also. So finally, is the mindfulness should be as much as possible. Okay, now walking meditation. All right. So walk and sit is important because walking meditation and standing meditation increase the effort. Sitting and lying down increase concentration because your mind is more quiet. That's why you will sit down, you lie down, your concentration is more. But when you walk and you stand, you need to have effort. Definitely when you're walking left, right, left, right, you need to have effort. When you're standing, you also need to have effort. All right. So you need to balance. That's why in all the meditation, there will be walking, standing, sitting, lying down. In Vipassana, normally you have walking, standing, and sitting. Lying down is just like after lunch, you need a rest, or before you sleep, you need a rest. That's lying down meditation. So benefits of changing posture is increase the suitable faculties. Okay, all this. And also reduce the boredom because sometimes you are changing all the time between posture. So your mind is not so bored. Sometimes when you sit down for a while, your mind is getting more slow and torpor. It's good to walk outside so you feel uh, more active. All right. Now, how are we going to practice the four great elements? Okay, now. So now when we are talking about four great elements, we are talking about characteristic. For example, in the earth, what is earth? Four great elements means earth, water, fire, wind. So when you are doing walking or standing or sitting, you can see the hardness, the body, which part is hard, which part is more soft, which one is more rough, more smooth, heaviness and lightness. So sometimes it's good to sit and let's say after you know the breathing, so you feel that your breathing is calm enough or it quite subtle, then you just focus on the body. You see which part of body is more heavy, 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 which are more light, light, light. This is contrast because your heaviness sometimes can change your light. Sometimes you sit down, you notice which part is hard, hard, which part is more soft, soft, and which part is more rough. That is especially doing walking meditation. You notice that sometimes the floor is more rough, sometimes which part is more smooth. Okay, so we can see them as they occur. That's one way. Another way is purposely look for it. Let's say, for example, you sit down, then you just zoom in the whole body. Which body you feel is much more hard? Maybe the teeth is hard. So when you put the hand together, you feel the bonds, bonds and bone touching is hard. Sometimes you sit down, you feel that your back become more hard. So you're like looking for the elements of hardness. Okay, so hard, hard, hard. Then after that, this finish. Then you look for heaviness because all these are obvious. Look for which part is heavy. So after you sit down, you feel the lower part of body is heavy, heavy, heavy. Then the leg become heavy. Or sometimes you sit down, you feel that your shoulder is dropping, become heavy. Your head is pressing down, so your head is more heavy. So you can look at it. After that, you can look for other elements. Right? That is we call it like searching one part, one part. But in normally as a Mahasi method, we don't really search for it. Whatever is obvious appear, we just aware of it. Now, water is very simply like you passing urine or sweat, so the water flowing down. So recently I go and climb the mountain, climb the hill. So the sweat is really flowing down from the face, from the body, and so on. So when you sweat, you've noticed that the body is very sticky. So there's a cohesion. Where after you sweat up, you notice body very, very sticky. Your feet is very sticky, your hands very sticky. It's like when we put the like flour powder. Flour powder is very particle. But when you put the water in the flour, so it will stick together, so you can make a dough, right? Then the body there will be hot and cold, and then there will be uh any part of body. So when you sit down, after a while, maybe you feel the inside the mouth is hot, then your chest is hot, or your buttocks touching the chair is more hot. So you notice hot, 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 hot. Then after that, it may become more hot, or after that, you feel the body become more cold due to the aircon and fan. Whatever it is, you're aware of it. And then the wind. So when you note the abdomen rising, falling, is also motion. You notice the breathing is also motion. Okay, same. Now, supporting. What is supporting? Supporting means this is a wind that support our body. Without this wind, we will fall down. So that's a wind we call it. It's a consciousness generated wind. So the moment you can stand up is because your consciousness asks you to stand up. And without this consciousness, let's say unconscious people, they will definitely fall down. Why? Because the consciousness are not able to generate the wind that support the body. So you notice the first thing that people fall down after they're unconscious, the body will fall down because no more this kind of wind. Or that's why in Chinese we call it 中风 lah, with the wind power. So you need supporting when you are standing up. So when you're walking, you also need the wind to support you. When you sit down, there's a wind in you that support you. But normally the one we see is the breathing. Okay, when you're breathing in, so there's some motion. So when you notice the abdomen rising, falling, there's also some motion here. Okay, any question? If not, I continue with the walking meditation. Any question? Okay. All right, now walking meditation. What are we trying to see in walking meditation? So you can do, let's say, okay. So for example, like when you step on the floor, you can feel the hot and cold, smooth and rough, heaviness, hardness. There's a contrast of the feet with the floor. So when you stand up, you notice that the supporting factor. So when you touch the feet on the ground, there's a heaviness also. So notice the four great elements as much as you can. in walking. Now, how are we going to do the walking? Now, walking, we can do the two-step. Okay, two-step very easy. So if you go to anywhere or at home, you just find a corridor. Right. So walking, the criteria, you find a one path. Okay. One path about maybe 15 feet. 15 feet means or 20 feet. You allow you to walk at least 15 feet or I don't know how many. It's as much as you can, right? So it should be a straight path. All right. It should be free from stone or pepper and so on. Okay. So it's kind of like very easy for you to walk. So you left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Yeah. So at the end, you stop, then you turn back. So we start with the left, right first. Okay. So you walk left, right, left, right. You just repeat. So actually, it's good if you do some labeling, So we call it label. So labeling in the mind. Label as left and right. Because labeling will counter the wandering mind. So if you just walk and walk and walk and walk without labeling, what happens is that you are doing left, right, but your mind was actually doing thinking somewhere else. So to make sure the mind come here, so you recite in your mind left, right, left, right, left, right. This will make the mind interested. Okay. So after a while, when your mind is okay, then you do second step. We call it lifting. So your feet is kind of like this. You just lift. So you just like lift and put down. Then another feet lift and put down. Then another feet lift and put down. So just slightly lift your feet and drop down. So they call it second step. So after that, third step. Okay, we call it lifting. Lift your leg, push a little bit and drop down. So another feet lift, push and drop down. So this one, I think maybe later I send you the Chamie video. You can look at how they work, right? Because now it's Zoom, it's not difficult to show. So if you want to do it more, you can do it 6 step. So it's like you lift, lift the feet a little bit, okay? Then you actually lifting the foot, then you push forward, then you drop, you touch the ground, and then you press the feet. Okay, so this 6 step. Or you do the intention to lift, lifting, intention to push, pushing, intention to drop, dropping. Okay. All right. There's a meditation. If actually welcome you all, go and meditate. If I am not around, you can find any teacher who can. There are a few meditation centers in Malaysia. You can go, or you can come to Myanmar to practice. Because we in November and December we are organizing the pilgrimage. You can join our pilgrimage. So at the end of pilgrimage, when there's still some time, like 2 days, 3 days, you can stay there, stay in our place to meditate in Yangon. No problem. Okay. Now, so we go to little bit theory. How are we going to do the 4 foundation mindfulness with 5 aggregates? So the 4 foundation mindfulness is body, feeling, mind, and Dhamma. You can mix with like this, all right? So the body is Rupa Khanda, aggregates of material. Feeling is still feeling, aggregates feeling. Chitta is under the aggregates of consciousness, Vijnana. Dhamma is Sanya and Sankhara. Because you have 5 aggregates, so if the 3 aggregates is covered, then remaining 2 will under Sanya and Sankhara. Okay. But actually, in the Dhammanupassana itself, it has the 5 aggregate also. So either the option is number A with the Sanya and Sankhara, or the option is of aggregates. Means all aggregates, 5 aggregates is under the Dhammanupassana. All right. Okay, so this is a just comparison between the 5 aggregates and 4 aggregates and 5 aggregates. Now, 5 is aggregates. What is 5 aggregates? So you have this body, aggregates of material or body. Simply, we are talking about body. So you notice in the moment sitting, walking, standing, lying down. 5 great elements, 6 hand base. Now, feeling, whether any five feeling that experience the object, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, neutral feeling. Sanya is like mentioned in Abhidhamma. We have the Abhidhamma on Thursday. It's marking the object. For example, you see somebody, or you mark it's a human, it's a dog, it's a cat. So the next time you see a dog, you no need to think very hard. Oh, you know it's a dog. So when you see the tiger on the internet, you recognize it's a tiger. The next time you see the tiger, you know it's a tiger. So like if you like the car, you see, oh, you know it's a Honda car, Prada car, or Mercedes. So we are marking in a way, like recognizing it, labeling it in the mind. So the next day you see it. So it kind of like sanya work as a we call it like memory, you know. It's like really kind of record things. Okay. Now Sankala aggregates of formation. We have 50 Chetasika. Now why? Because 52, we have 52 Chetasika. So after 52 Chetasika, you minus the feeling and perception, you only have 50. So it's included a big group like intention, greed, hatred, and so on. And vijnana is simply just say the aggregates of consciousness, awareness of object. It's a basic knowing, you know. So here is in five aggregates, we are talking it just function as a knowing, like you in a moment seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, it's just knowing. All right. Okay, now from here we will go on to this one. Now we are talking about factors of enlightenment. This is like what I mentioned before in one of the class. Now we need to know what is cause. Cause will be 1 to 3. Effects is the rest. Now this is important from the commentary. It tells us how are we going to improve the factors of enlightenment. First, of course, you must reduce the hindrances, and subsequently, you need to improve the plus factor. All right. So hindrances is the bad one. Mindfulness, bojanga, all these are good one. So that's why we should know that as much as possible. Okay, we start to read them now. So invite the brother Roy. You can read the A. Yes. Are you here, brother Roy?
Yes, can hear.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Practice that lead to mindfulness. Mindfulness with clear comprehension at any time, anywhere, any posture, regarding environment and people. These are external factors. The avoiding of person with confused minds. Number 3, association with people who keep mindfulness ready for applications. Number 4, inclination towards mindfulness. Wish or desire is the internal factors.
Okay. All right. Read the B first. B also. Yeah.
Okay. B, 6 things lead to the arising of the enlightenment factors of Dharma Vikaya. Okay, number 1, inquiring about the Dharma. Number 2, the purifications of the basis, namely the cleaning of the body, clothes, and environment. Number 3, impairing evenness to the 5 spiritual controlling faculties, the equalizing of faith and with wisdom and of concentration and energy. Number 4, avoiding the ignorant, foolish, associating with the wise. Number 5, reflecting on the profound difference of the heart to perceive processes of the aggregates modes or elements, sense base, and so forth. Number 6, the inclining, sloping, bending towards the development of the enlightenment factors of the investigation of mental objects.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we are talking about, this is Bojjhanga. Bojjhanga is actually, if you notice it, there are also parts of the 5 faculties. Okay, so before we review again, 5 faculties is, there will be, right, faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. Okay, now you can see the same thing in the Bojjhanga factor. You don't have faith, but you have the effort, you have the mindfulness, which is the number 1 in the Bojjhanga, right? And the wisdom is number 2. So number 2 means Dhamma Vijaya. So number 1 in Bojjhanga is mindfulness. Number 2 is Dhamma Vijaya. And you also have concentration. Now, to have mindfulness is, you need to practice mindfulness anywhere, anytime, any posture. So this will create we call it sustained. Maybe we use the word sustained attention. Okay, so you use the word sustained attention. So it means your and sometimes if you want to be clear comprehension, so we call it sustained wise attention. You also can put the word wise here if you want. This means that you are having good attention, good mindfulness regarding the place, regarding the people. So it teaches you to be skillful, when you associate with people or in different environment, whether you are sitting, standing in any posture, any place. So these are external. External because it's much more towards your environment, people. But you also need to have your inclination towards mindfulness. It's your wish, your desire. If you don't want to have mindfulness, of course the mindfulness is not there. Right? So you need to have your mind always inclined toward mindfulness. So this is internal one. External one will be regarding environment and people. And try to avoid. It's actually impossible to avoid because sometimes we cannot choose our family members, we cannot choose our colleagues, we cannot choose the environment. This is just a suggestion. Try to avoid them. Or even you cannot avoid them as long as, not to say you purposely avoid, not to put them in your body and mind. Like you embrace them, whatever they say, you follow them. Including those like to go to alcohol, like to drink alcohol, like to go to do evil things. So these are very bad mind, confused mind. And also we need to associate with people who always be mindful. So we are really following them. Okay. Now in the 24 Patthana, okay, Patthana, we have one we call it Upanisaya. Upanisaya means a strong dependence condition. It's talking about, one is we call it depends on what? The weather, the food, the people. Even though it doesn't look like any effect, but if the weather is good, we have good mind. If the weather is too hot, too cold, we will not feel comfortable. So if the food is too hot, too cold, not suitable, so we will not have strong body also. And also the people means the environment. Even though it look like they can have nothing to us, but the way they behave will impact us. So we call it Upanisaya in one of the 24 Patthana. So that's why we should avoid people who are confused mind and associate with people with good mind. All right. So in this way, we protect ourselves. Okay. Any question? I continue. All right. Now, Brother Roy already read it. So now this Dhamma Vijaya is actually same with we call it 5 faculties. In Dhamma Vijaya is same with this this number 2, right? So this is called Dhamma Vijaya. Dhamma Vijaya itself, this is actually a wisdom faculty. All right, number 2 here. Dhamma Vijaya means you want to increase your wisdom. Now, how to increase the wisdom means you must inquire the Dhamma. Every time you read a Dhamma, listen to Dhamma talk, or you read a book, or you come across some article in a Facebook or whatever, you have to ask, oh, why the monk like this? Or is it in this way? So it's like you make your mind more curious, not just simply receive. So you also try to understand in your own way. So inquire, right? Okay, now second thing is, if you want to have a strong, good Dhamma or wisdom, make sure you clean the body. So this is mentioned in the Wisdom Magga. Wisdom Magga get it from the commentary. It's like cleaning the body, close environment. It helps in a way. So that's why it's called purification basis. And also here is also like just now, faculties. Your faith and wisdom should be together. Make sure you have enough faith, right? Because this will support your wisdom. And avoid the ignorant people, associate with wise. So this is also talking about our environment. We of course we cannot choose where we live or our family member, but at least we try to make our mind always associate with the wise one. Because why? When you associate with wise one, you get good advice. You look at the behavior, you also impressed if they are having a lots of good behavior, so you follow them, right? It's like what you say, if you associate with foolish one all the time, they will give bad advice, you will follow them. Like we say in Myanmar, there's a saying, if you stay with the fisherman, you become a fisherman. If you stay with the hunter, you become hunter one day. Because you see them killing animals, they say, it's okay, it's good to kill animals. After you kill animals, you sell their meat, you still can get lots of money after you sell the meat. So they will give you the same advice. So that's why when you associate with the hunter, you become a hunter. You associate with fisherman, you become a fisherman. So we try to avoid them because they give foolish advice. All right, and also we need to reflect on the profound things for profound Dharma in us. What is aggregate? What is a base? What is a 6 sense base or 12 bases in us? So this is you call it profound Dharma. Of course, you know about aggregate 6 sense base, but you still have to put the attention in yourself. Think about not think, really understand the sense base. Every time you hear the sound, you see something, like when good news, how it affect your mind. This is called sense base. And incline your mind sloping towards the fact investigation on Dhamma, same thing, right? Now Viriya is interesting. How are you make sure you have Viriya? Jackie say, sister Jackie say, yeah. Can you read this one? Okay, are you around, sister Jackie? Okay, if not, we Chai Hui Yin. Are you around?
Yes, Lagi.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So, C, Viriya, effort, energy. 11 things lead to the arising of the enlightenment factor of energy. Number 1, reflection on the fearfulness of states of woe, apaya baya. Number 2, the seeing of the benefits of energy. Number 3, reflection on the path to be trodden. Number 4, the honoring of arms. Number 5, reflection on the greatness of the heritage. Number 6, the reflection on the greatness of the Master, Buddha. 7, reflection on the greatness of race. 8, reflection on the greatness of fellows in the holy life. 9, avoiding of lazy folk. 10, the association with folk who have begun to exert. 11, the inclination towards the development of the enlightenment factor of energy.
Okay, thank you. So
Thank
this
you.
is 11 factors will make our mind strong, more energy. Now, what is the mean energy? Energy is, in a way, we say that the mind is strong. Another way we say, not afraid. For example, you're not afraid of problem. You have energy. If you have energy, you're not afraid. So it's like make the mind strong, you know. How you make the mind strong? One thing is you see, if you think that, oh, if I don't practice hard, I will go to woeful states in the future. My born as an animal, hell beings. So you think it's very fearful. So that's the meaning. So there's a seeing the negative one. Now seeing positive one is see the benefits. When you work hard, you get lots of goodness. When you want to study Dharma, it's for your own good. So see the benefits of why you need to have energy. Reflection on the path to be trodden. So it's like you think about this path is being practiced by many people in the past, by Buddha and so on, by Arahants. So this is the path that deserve for us to practice. Now, if you are Sangha members, you think that, oh, I have eaten the food provided by people, so I must honor the alms. So alms means food in a way. Okay. Now it's greatness of the heritage. Okay, you are in the heritage of the Dhamma, of the Buddha. So it's a very good heritage. Or if you're part of Sangha, it's a heritage of Sangha. Okay, next one is thinking about the master. Master is the Buddha. All right. So we get to know the Buddha by listening to Buddha teaching, by eating piso and so on. So it's a great religion, and Buddha is very great, very holy, very wise. Okay. Next one is a race. Is talking about. It also depends on interpretation. So if in the Buddha's time there has a Sakyan race, okay, now it's a what kind of race for us? We are in the Buddhist. In a way, Buddhist is a race also. Is a way we are practicing together with other people, pharaohs. Okay, and avoid the lazy people. It's always same. If you alliance with those who just want to waste their time, they don't want to work hard. Okay, so you should avoid them and associate with people who are very hardworking. And also same, always have the inclination. Inclination is what is inclination? Inclination is kind of like tendency. Okay, you wake up in the morning. The first thing you wake up, what you think? Okay, I want to do something. I want to learn Dharma. I want to practice meditation. So your mind is inclined to hardworking. So that's meaning tendency, inclination. All right. Now there's a lot of point, but I think the point is actually quite good. All right, next person. Marisa O. Lecture Joy.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 4 is it?
Yes.
Yes. Lecture of Joy, PT. 11 things lead to the arising of the enlightenment factor of joy. Number 1, recollection of the Buddha. Number 2, recollection of the Dharma. Number 3, recollection of the Sangha. Number 4, recollection of the teacher. 5, of the Vibharati. Number 6, of the shining ones, devas. And 7, the recollection of the peace, upasama. Number 8, the avoiding of the bad people. Number 9, association with the good people. Number 10, reflection on the discourses, inspiring confidence. And 11, the inclination towards joy.
Okay, thank you. Now, this is same we call it the anusati, you know. In samatha practice, I think next week I will give something about samatha and vipassana. In samatha, there are 40 practice, 10 anusati. So you can see under this one, you have the Buddhanusati, okay. You have the Dhammanusati, Sanghanusati. So this is will be Sila, Silanusati, So this is we call it Chaga. Chaganusati, Devatanusati. Then this is Upasama. So there are 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are actually 10. Okay, now here I put 7. So Buddha is like when you chant Iti so Bhagawa. So you're thinking about the Buddha quality. Then you think of Swakato. Okay. Then the Sangha, the Supatipanno, like this. Right. Then Sila. Right. So actually this just talks about you think about the qualities of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Why? Because they are the most perfect one. So when you think about when the object is pure, so your mind is more wholesome. The more the mind is more wholesome, so it's become more pure. It's like if you see a dark thing, your mind follow it become dark. But you see something like crystal or bright, so your mind also become bright. That's the thing. Like object is bright, so your mind is bright also. Okay. And sila means morality. Sila we call it moral conduct in a way. Okay. Like when you see something, your mind is let me type that swakato. Okay. So all right. Because your mind is like we call it pure. When you reflect on your own morality, so if you observe the 5 precept well or 8 precept well, so you think about your morality, you also be happy, right? So this called will have joy. And if you are somebody who are very charitable, you like to give donation, this like to help people, and the more you think about your own charitable mind, you also be happy. Okay, there's now recently I post to you all. I hope you all join me. I'm going to raise the fund because in November during the pilgrimage trip, so I will visit 20 monastery and nunneries together with Sayaji Agawati. So every time if I go to this kind of place and no money to give, not nice, right? Because they really deserve our help. So I want to give more donation to help needy place because a lot of places like monastery and nunneries, they support the poor children, those from very poor background. So it's good to always do some charity. And then when we think about the Deva here, it's not that to worship them, So the Anusati is think about why they become a Deva, right? They become a Deva because they had some practice some good morality or good values. So when we think about the Deva, actually it's thinking about what made them as a Deva here, right? So it's thinking about why they born as Deva, right? For example, they might be due to their morality or due to their liberty. So they born there because of some good deeds. So we are not like worshipping them, but we are thinking about the reason they born as Deva is for people who like Buddha image of the deity, because some people are more prone to worship the deity. I notice some people are more liberal. They go to Buddhist center, they pay respect to Buddha. They go to Taoism, they also pay respect to their Angkong. Yeah. So these people who are more interested in the devas and so on. Now, Upasama is just thinking about the Nibbana. How Nibbana is very calm, very peaceful. Nibbana means no great hatred delusion is very nice place and so on. Okay. Now, how are you going to also avoid bad relationship with good people? Good people are more bright in nature. And also you need to think about the Dhamma thing will make you happy. And also lastly is inclined to happiness, inclines toward joy. So you notice that this inclination is always written somewhere. This is we call it tendency, How you incline the mind. What is your mind inclined? It's actually difficult to explain it. So I will take it in a way is what do you wish? If you wish to be happy, if you wish to have joy, your mind will be inclined towards the joy. If you wish to meet good people, your mind will incline towards the meeting good people. That kind of a wish in your mind. All right. Okay. Any question? I continue. Okay. Now, next person to read. You all can read slowly now, huh? Because we were going to finish this one. Katie Wong, Sister Katie Wong, yes. All right, now 7 factors lead to the enlightenment factor. Okay, I think you're not around. How about Lana? Sister Lana. Okay, so we can read this one, Lana.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
tranquility, pasati. 7 things lead to the rising of the enlightenment factor of tranquility. 1. The resorting to the fine food. 2. Comfortable weather. 3. Comfortable postures. 4. Judgment according to the middle way. 5. The avoiding of people who are physically restless. 6. The association with people who are physically calm. And 7. The inclinations towards the development of the enlightenment factor of calm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Now, tranquility means, what's the meaning of tranquility? Tranquility means is very peaceful in a way. Now, remember we have 5 kind of joy, like what I call it, momentary joy, uplifting joy, prevailing joy. Another final one where the joy become very strong, it becomes very tranquil. Tranquil means quiet. We use the word quiet. So if you want to have quiet or peaceful, so you eat the suitable food, okay, and suitable weather. Comfortable means the food is just comfortable. For example, you like hot food, you like spicy food, then you should eat the food that's suitable for you. Of course, it must be healthy. And the weather. Some people prefer warm weather because they have rheumatism. But some people prefer cool weather. Okay, so choose the weather that's suitable for you. Also, posture. Posture means maybe you sit for a while, then you walk for a while, or whatever. Make sure you're in a comfortable place. And make sure you are in a middle way. Middle way means not too extreme. Okay, for example, you learn how to let go. Don't cling too much, not torture yourself too much, or not make sure yourself too luxurious. Just middle way. Also, your judgment should be also like this in a way. Okay. And also avoid people are restless. There are some people who are restless in nature. And also associate with people who are more calm in nature. And finally, also incline towards the calmness yourself. Okay. Now, samadhi. Okay, Brother Michael, are you here? Okay, I think most people are either sleeping or whatever. Okay, Melinda Chan, you can read, yes.
Thank you, Sajid. Concentration of samadhi, a state of calm, one-pointed focus on an internal or external object. 11 things lead to the arising of concentration. Number 1, purification of the basis. Number 2, the imparting of evenness to the spiritual controlling faculties. Number 3, skill in taking up the sign of the object of meditation. Number 4, the inciting of the mind on occasion. 5, the restraining of the mind on occasion. 6, the gladdening of the mind on occasion. And number 7, the regarding of the mind without interfering on occasion. Number 8, the avoiding of people who are not collected in mind.
Okay. Now, when we say samadhi, now what is samadhi? Samadhi means your mind is focused. Focus means your mind is not scattered. For example, if you not the breathing, then your mind scattered to other thoughts and so on. So it means that not focus. But if you're not the breathing or abdomen rising falling, your mind can really focus well, can zoom in a way, right? So make sure make sure your basis here means your environment should be clean, external environment. Internal things, it means your clothes, your nail, cut the nail, and make sure your clothes is clean. So this is called purification of basis. And also your faculties like this, the 5 faculties, your effort and concentration should be balanced like this. Okay. So for example, this will refer to your, for example, your effort and concentration should be balanced. Then your wisdom and faith. Okay, faith and wisdom, faith. Okay, faith and wisdom should be balanced. So these two should be balanced with each other. So this is called evenness. Maybe means that they should be this way, okay? So they should be balanced with each other. Evenness, that's the meaning. Now, the next one, skill in taking out the sign or object. So it means that if you want to notice on one object, want to focus on object, you must be able to take on this object. Because how are you going to practice meditation if you cannot grasp the object? So for breathing, you must take out the breathing. If you are taking about 4 great elements, you must do the 4 great elements. If you want to note the hardness, you must note it. So whatever object you should be able to pick up well. All right. So if you are not good in breathing, then you find other object. So this is inciting. Inciting means you make the mind more active, right? So this is called make mind more active. Sometimes when you feel lazy, so you should make the mind more active. Restraining means you reduce the required excitement, because sometimes if your mind is too excited, you need to control it so it stay balanced. Gladdening means make it more joyful, okay, more joy. And then this one regarding my winter influence on this I'm not sure what is it. Without interfering on occasion. Okay. Okay, this means that can focus. I would say it's like focusing well. Without interfering means don't let the mind scatter. Regarding the mind without interfering on the interfering should be talking about. Okay. Interfering so means not scatter. Let's take it in this way. Okay. Now, after that, that means that it's still same. Make sure your environment, the people you associate with people who have more samadhi. People who have more samadhi are more calm in nature. And avoid people who have less samadhi, right? That's the meaning. And this one will be reflect on the absorption means jhanic state, right? Samadhi state, deep concentration. And emancipation means liberation. Okay, liberation from defilements. That's the thing. And finally, also make sure that your mind is inclined towards the concentration, right? So we have mindfulness. After that, Dhamma Vijaya. Okay, then we have effort. After we have effort, then we have the joy. Okay, so ABC, effort. Okay, so mindfulness, Dhamma Vijaya, and joy, effort, all these are cause. So the rest, joy, tranquility, samadhi, upekha, all these are effect. The sati effect, right? Now, 5 things lead to upekha. Detached attitude towards being. Detached attitude towards things. Avoid of persons who are egoistic in regard to living beings and things. Associate with people who are neutral, impartial in regard to living beings and things. The inclination for developing the factors of enlightenment, factors of equanimity. Now, detached attitude towards beings means don't cling to people. All right. In a way, we say don't cling or don't attach too much to people. people or even animal, to people, to maybe even animals. What's the meaning? For example, there are some people who say they cannot meditate. I say, why cannot meditate? Because they got 5 dogs at home or 3 cats at home. So it's like they already have attachment to the animals. So when they have attachment to animals, the animals become their master. They are the slave. Do you notice that? Because they cannot leave the house. The moment they leave the house, they're worried, oh, my dogs, my cats, and nobody to feed them. So if you really want to meditate well, we should not have too much animals at home, too many animals, because there is a attached to there. Yes, as a master of the animals, we need to make sure they have a good food, whatever, but not to cling to them because no point. Even one day we have to pass away. Don't mention about those animals. Their lifespan is about 10 years or 20 years. This also same. Don't cling to, not cling or not attached to things. Okay, whatever things you should not, even like cars. Of course, you drive a car, you must make sure the car is okay, but don't get so like, oh, a bump on the car or whatever, get so upset. Just a bump, little bump also. Okay, and also avoid people who are very egoistic means they cling too much as I, my. That's the thing. Egoistic means the idea of I or my, like I or my thing, my people, everything they say is always I and my. So we associate with people who are more impartial. All right, I think we finished this. Anything you want to ask? If not, we just stop this session. So later we have another paper. There's I think we continue later, right? So later there's so later I think I sent to you already. These 4 types of Itipata. We can continue later in tonight. It will not be so long. Yeah, it's a kind of like story, so easy to understand. So it's a good to nowadays have the AI help because AI helped me a lot. Of course, have to check whatever AI right also. All right, any last question? We can practice meditation. Take it as a good time to practice. Any questions? I think today the notes is actually very clear about the yeah, there will be a video later.